Hello, my name is Michael, and welcome back to another video of Batman Arkham Knight. If these guys would shut up, that'd be great. Alright, today we're going to be talking about the 1939 first appearance of Batman, and some of the other stories involving when Batman wore purple gloves. Alright, thank you for telling me, game. Alright, so, Batman was created in the Bronx of New York by Bill Finger and Bob Kane. The original version of Batman that Bob Kane came up with was a man with blonde hair, a mask that looked like Robin's mask, and plastic black wings on the back. And Bill Finger didn't like that and came up with this. And this is what everyone fears today. Alright. So the first comic of Batman, Detective Comics number 27, starts out with Commissioner Gordon and Bruce Wayne talking in Wayne Manor. They're smoking, you know, like everyone did back then, and having a chat just about how life is going. There's a murder in I think a house in the city. I'm not sure where the murder was, but I know that someone got murdered. And Bruce went along with Commissioner Gordon to go check it out. And then they talked about the suspects of who the murderer might be, and then Bruce says that he doesn't feel good and has to go home. Later that evening, some men who are coming to clean up the evidence get ambushed by a man dressed up as a bat. Batman, the Batman, chases off these men and ends up, I think, interrogating them. Or maybe he just, like, beat them? I'm not completely sure, I forgot. But, yeah, he takes down those guys and continues to look for the other known assailants. I think he ends up chasing down some of the other ones, and then pushes, or, I think, accidentally makes a man fall in a vat of chemicals, and if that sounds familiar to you, then yes, this is what happened to the Joker. But they hadn't come up with that yet. It was just something that they thought should happen in the comic. After that, there were a few other just random adventures involving Batman. He just fights some criminals and kind of basically kill people back then, because Bob Kane thought it'd be good if Batman killed people, before they came up with his whole morals thing. Then, Batman ends up fighting some guy, I think called Dr. Light, or was it Dr. Death? It was something like that. And I think he, like, almost kills Batman, and then Batman ends up, like, killing him later in the comic. A very, like, common trend for these comics of Batman first appearing. It was just him killing everyone that he ever fought. Like, there was no consistent, like, rogues gallery. Can't speak. There was no consistent rogues gallery. He just, new guy shows up, Batman kills him. That's kind of how it went. There were some occasional things of Batman just fighting the Nazis during this time too, because a lot of these stories transitioned over into like the mid 40s, and then Batman got like a blue suit in like around 1947, I believe. There were a few issues where Batman and his girlfriend, I think her name was Julia Roberts. Yeah. Batman would just go on like random vacations with her to go investigate as Batman. You know, like he does in a lot of iterations, you know, go places as Bruce Wayne, and then Batman will just somehow be there. He ended up chasing, some Nazis to a underground bunker, or it was either a blimp and like a island, and there was some brainwashed girl they had that was trying to kill them, and Batman thought it'd be a good idea to keep brainwashed girl with his girlfriend. I believe Julia Roberts eventually figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman and then left him, and either way, if she didn't, I can't recall. I'm pretty sure she did, but she left Bruce. She got tired of him. As you can see, this suit isn't exactly fully metal or like armored up. It's basically just a really big pair of long johns with boots, leather purple gloves, a very weird type of like leather cowl, and then a very thin cape. In the comics, this thing is somehow able to wrap all the way around. Yeah. The ears are actually much longer, too. But, the width, like, the spaced out part that it has in the game is pretty accurate to it. His utility belt, as you can see, doesn't exactly have a bunch of pockets. It's got, like, the, capsule type pockets. And it's basically just like a normal, just big belt. The Batmobile in the late 30s and early 40s wasn't even, like, themed or anything. It was like a normal, just red car. Bob Kane wanted Batman to be able to blend in with criminals and stuff when he'd go, you know, stalk them, so that he couldn't be picked out. But the funny thing is that Batman drove a convertible, and yeah, you know, put the sunroof down. Oh look, it's Batman. There isn't exactly like a normal car. In a lot of my videos, you'll be seeing me use the 1989 Batmobile. And that is because this is, in my opinion, the best looking Batmobile. I will probably end up using the Arkham Asylum Batmobile from time to time. Maybe the 60s one. It's not my favorite. I'll use the Tumblr one whenever we talk about that, but this has the best look. It sounds the best, and it handles the best. So this is what I'll be using. So don't come at me with, well, that's not the right Batmobile. I'm using what I think looks best. So for a while in the early 40s, Batman wasn't really involved with a lot of things other than just killing random people in Gotham City and then fighting Nazis. That's kind of all they used him for. They used Batman as like a war promotional character for like a while, and it wasn't until after the war that they finally kind of lightened up the character a little bit. But yeah, you know, he wasn't, like, he was popular, right, when he first came out, but that wasn't it. And then after, sorry, I got distracted by the game bugging out. Through the blue one that everyone was very familiar with for a very long time, because they used that for forever. Like, I think it wasn't until like the 80s that they finally like changed it up one time. In Zero Year, the comic where basically the world kind of ends, Batman used a costume kind of similar to this one. It was gray, had a black bat symbol. The ears weren't pointing like this. It was like a normal Batman suit that was gray and black, but he had purple gloves, and that was a callback to this. This Batman was actually used to inspire the Tim Burton Batman films. Tim Burton liked the darkness of the original Batman and wanted people to see that because the Adam West TV show kind of ruined Batman for a lot of people over the years. And it made Batman into this not serious person. Batman's supposed to be scary, not some good law-abiding citizen. And they did that because they knew that kids would be watching that show, and they wanted to teach kids the right thing. And you know, that's good. But that's not Batman. Superman's that kind of person. Alright. Where's the last guy? Sorry, this is not even related to what I'm talking about, but the game's being weird. Oh, alright. Okay. I believe a few years after Batman became blue, that's when the whole Robin thing happened. And they don't really talk about this Batman that much. I know for the 75th anniversary of Batman, they made an animated short of this Batman. They had Hugo Strange and Solomon Grundy abduct just a random girl, and Batman came in with the plane, the Bat plane, and he stopped them. And he was voiced by Kevin Conroy. Yeah, Kevin Conroy. But other than that, that's kind of where this Batman isn't seen much anymore. A lot of people nowadays don't really like this Batman because, you know, he killed people, but I mean, there are lots of iterations where Batman kills people. It was never originally no killing. That was something that they came up with way further down the line. It wasn't something people thought about back then. They had Superman being a good guy, and they had this guy who was being a vigilante and just stopping the bad guys. It didn't matter how he did it. It just mattered that he stopped them. I believe that the Purple Glove Batman is referenced throughout DC history still, but it's not something that really gets brought up anymore. I know that this Batman isn't exactly the most, like, martial arts trained one. All you know is that he can just beat the crap out of people. Kinda it. In Gotham City, like in the 30s, wasn't even really that, like, you know, Gotham. Like, it was basically based off... Everything from the 30s and early 40s is basically based off of, like, really run-down New York from, like, the Great Depression. And I believe that Batman just dealt with a lot of, like, mob-type scenarios when he first started. That's why those guys that he killed in his first appearance were trying to hide evidence. They killed some, like, politician dude. But, yeah, this is 1939 Batman. And this guy should... Where are you? I am trying to talk. You're all the way over there? You can... Okay. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. Everyone's bullying me. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for other videos. Yeah, everybody hates Batman.